Okay, welcome with me today. Today we're gonna be going through the exercise of hooking up the printer port operation on our York chillers. So bear with me. So I'm gonna go from the start of it. It's basically a walkthrough. So when you attempt this, you'll be successful. So looking at my whiteboard, items required. You'll need a laptop with a copy of putty.exe installed. So you can pick up putty.exe for free. You just put in putty.exe into Google, up she comes. Download a free copy of it. It comes in either 32 or 64-bit operating systems. So you can check the operating system on your laptop by just going to your computer, system properties, and you can see if it's a 64-bit. Two, you need a female-to-female 9-pin cable, which I'll show you here. So it's just one of these guys. So that's a 9-pin cable, and we're gonna alter that by cutting one end off and selecting a few of the wires that we're going to require. But that's to come. The third thing is just a USB to serial cable, basically like this one here. All right, you can pick those up from most electronic stores. It comes with its own program, so you load up onto your computer. All right, and once you do that, you have to find it in your computer under Devices and Printers. But once you do that, you locate it in Devices and Printers. Just set it up for yourself for your computer right away. And how to do that is you go to Devices, Printers, find it, like you just double click on it. Here it is here. Double click on it till this window comes up. Go to Hardware. Double click on this, and then go to your port settings. Very important, we're going to set up these port settings now. So the proper port settings, baud rate would be 1200, data bits is 8, parity none, stop bits 1, and your flow control is none. So you put those in, and that will be great. Also make note of what port it's actually running on your computer, because you're going to need to know that. So currently this one's running off COM port 5. Alright. And the last thing you're going to need is a chiller to test it on. So the diagram I'm going to be putting up on this whiteboard next suits YLAAs, YCWLs, YCIVs, YVAAs, and all OptiView panels. So this will be able to take the fault data and running operation off of all those types of chillers. Alright, so let me get busy and I'll set a few things up and I'll return in a bit. Alright, so these are the wiring connections you're going to have to make between your chiller and your laptop with your 9-pin connector. So if you look on my diagram here, I have the chiller. These are the model numbers. YCWL, YLAA, down below YCIV, YVAA, and on the other side you'll see there's the OptiView. Alright, so what this means is when you look at this chiller at TB3 port, there'll be a bunch of designations on the chiller. Those are the designations we're going to use when we modify our 9-pin connector. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one end off of this 9-pin connector, and we're going to put on some electrical connections that we can put into this port, tighten on. But it's very important. So when you look at the 9-pin to laptop, you'll see that these designations, DTR, RXD, the most important thing is you want to get wire number 4, wire number 2, wire number 5, and then you want to label them. Okay? It's very important. I've done that on my little connectors here. So you take it apart, you locate wire number 4, wire number 2, wire number 5, and you put some connectors on there. Once that's done, then we're ready to connect to the chiller that we're working on. Again, you can refer to this board at any time because being YouTube, you can just stop and rewind. And these are the designations you're going to use. Note on the OptiView, there's only 2 wires. There's the ground, number 5, and the RXD, number 2. And the DTR is just jumped to the DSR on the OptiView. And that's how that works. Alright? But Primarily, you're going to be using this to get fault data and operation data off the chillers. It's really useful, and you can save it to a file on your computer through that putty.exe program that we're going to use. But today we're going to hook up for a YLAA. So I'm going to get busy, I'm going to hook all that up, and I'll show you what you need to do. Alright, so here we go. When working on the chiller, you must always set up port 2 for the printer port for this to work. So press your program button and then down arrow 4 times and enter. Now make your way through. All the stuff you're going to find first up is all port 1 info for the backnet. So we're going to make our way through all that until we come to P2. P2 protocol right here. So change that to API. Manual MAC address 0. Keep clicking over. Baud rate 1200. With the YLAAs, the baud rate has to be, I always match it up with the chord speed. They are a little bit slower to print than, say, the YCIVs and the YVAAs, but they do the job. Parity is none. Stop bit's 1. And your select bit RS232. That's exactly what we want. And don't worry about the rest of it, and then just go back to status. Okay, so that's all set up and ready to go. So now move over to your computer and bring up your putty. Okay? So what you want to do here on your putty is select your port that you're going to be working off your computer. Mine's port 5, or COM5, and my speed's going to be 1200. My serial is going to be, well, it's going to be selected for serial. And then highlight the default settings because it's going to save that, and then save it. Alright? Once that's done, you can log your files by going up to log, and you can go browse files, or you can make a putty log file. Usually you can browse, double click, putty, and then once that's done, you can press open, and that'll open the putty program. Should go to this black screen here. Alright, once that's on, we go back to the chiller. Alright, and you press your print button, and then you can go to your choice, your operating or your fault history. I don't have any faults in this chiller, so I'm just going to go operating. Once that's done, it'll come over here. It'll tell me, do I want to erase a previous log that I've done? I say yes. Once that's done, it'll start printing. Like I say, it's very slow with these YLAAs, but it does do the job. And everything's going to come out. It'll come out with, you know, how this chiller's set up operation-wise, what it's currently doing. It's going to have all the info on pressures and temperatures from every sensor it has in the unit. Even at the end of it, it'll print out the schedule that the chiller is currently running on. And this is really good data if you have, you know, faults on chillers that you're trying to get to the bottom of, or if. All right, the final result of our print off of our chiller. So this is all the operational data. Like I say, you can get the history data, all the rest of it. It's a great little tool to have in the technician's pocket if you're trying to get to the bottom of problems with certain chillers, or if you just want to make maintenance easy, printing off everything the chiller's doing and put it on your laptop for easy access to see if anything's going crazy with the units or if it's doing something strange compared to other units. But yeah, there you go. Hope you like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and I'll keep making this stuff. Cheers. Thanks for watching.